Oh, so you can plug it into one of those, so you don't have to.
Yeah, I was gonna do that instead.
Yeah, this shit's looking a little better. Just gotta get rid of that shit, and then
The Cherry Creek Arts Festival?
yeah,
Where do you want to plug it in?
Where'd you guys get that in the first place?
Maybe you.
because we just had it, and we just needed placeholders. Till we got to at least this degree, and then I just need this frame for that and that frame for the octopus. The octopus can go in the middle and put LED lights around it.
There's some Doritos and some Lay's.
But it looks a little better. The walls are not so fucking.
The chocolate one?
No, I'm good.
Are you live yet?
We're live?
Yeah,
Alright.
they're good.
Alright. Don't be on mic. It's just.
Give me a sec, I'm checking here.
Oh yeah, you should name. Oh yeah, HT Cast. Thank you. What the hell you doing?
What?
You son, what you doing? Oh, that sounds nice.
You all talk at the same time.
Yo. Oh yeah, you should name. Oh yeah, HT Cast. Thank you.
Echo.
You son, what you doing? That sounds nice. Yo.
Okay, sounds like we should be okay.
Yeah, we're good. Let me just send everything, and then as soon as you start seeing me get serious, Camilo, that's when we'll start. But right now, let's just let it be.
When are you not serious?
Oh, you want to do that now?
Just kidding.
You want to do that
No,
now?
just kidding.
We can do it right now, brother. I'm ready. I'm ready. I've been waiting for you to shoot at me, bro.
Just kidding.
I got a clip just for you. Yeah, we're good. Let me just send everything, and then as soon as you start seeing me get serious, Camilo, that's when we'll start. But right now, let's just let it be.
When are you not serious?
That's straight comedy.
The little POV is still getting better, dude. I don't know why.
I think it's not enough light. And then since you're gonna be changing this for me. Ready? You can just plug it in directly to the thing. Or is it? Oh, there it is. Can you hand me the other control plug? Yes, sir. Let go. What color do you guys want? Or you just want to just fake that shit up?
Just fake.
Pass me the other?
Yeah,
Not this one, dude. We're not trying to send out a little message.
with this light,
But maybe we are.
with this light,
Keep
give
watching.
me a green. Cause you put it on yellow.
What color do you guys want?
There you go. Yep.
Let's just send a couple more links and then.
Who's going to present and start?
I am.
Let me know whenever you're ready.
Yeah, like I said, as soon as I get serious, that's when I'm ready. But right now, let me just send out these links. Okay, episode 9. Am I missing anything?
So we're talking about practice.
Were you an Iverson fan?
Practice, dude.
Like life practices.
Yeah.
Like some people practice being Muslim. Other people practice different religions. What do you practice?
Where did you send that stuff, Jesus?
Huh?
Did you send?
I just to people that want to watch it, that I know that want to watch it. Oh, well, I send it them directly. Do you want to put in the good trip?
Just cause I don't know if I have.
Yeah, can you send it to me so I can send it to my cousin?
Yep.
My father should be going to the airport right now.
To come back or what?
No, he's going to Miami.
I thought he was already there.
He came back and he's going back.
Oh, okay.
So he came back, so to go back.
Also, I'm going to send you directly to text message. God damn.
Well, it's on, dude.
Okay, cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Higher Thought Cast, episode 9. I go by Jesus or HT. Today, I got the teammates back. You know, the only people you're gonna constantly probably see on this channel and every other channel. Jose, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty well, thank you. How are you?
How do you like holding the snowball, the infamous snowball that Camilo loves?
It feels like a great glass of wine.
Just turn down.
Is
your
my
phone.
window?
Yeah. Turn down. It's all good. We getting better, ladies.
Who is that idiot out there?
It's all good. We're all learning. We're all learning. So it's like holding like a cup of wine.
A glass of wine, yeah.
Are you a wine guy?
Not really, but I'll drink it. I'll drink some.
Yeah. This is if the occasion fits, right? As our friend here would say.
Yep.
Okay. Get a little closer to me, Jose. Osvaldo, what's going on, man? How you doing? How you feeling?
It's 'cause this is a cholo chair, dude. I'm like all these.
That's why I told you bring the left in front to the forward. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. All right. So how's your week? What do you mean pretty good? How's your drink?
It's really good, actually.
Have you ever had
Very
it?
good. Where did you get those?
Yeah.
Costco.
Costco.
And they're on sale. They're like $11 a box right now, and they're only a seasonal drink.
Nice.
So
Flavor.
yeah, and then it's like it's all organic and shit. Like no, not organic, but it's actual real sugar. It's not just the other stuff. I try not to drink so much sugar drinks, but so the main reason why I wanted to have this cast tonight is because there's a conversation that continues to occur among us as far as like playing sports, being athletic, injuries, right? And honestly, the reason why I want to have the cast, because I want a little more understanding, because I truly don't understand how somebody can get injured and then go back, especially a serious injury. I don't. It may be because, well, full disclosure, I've played soccer. I've been an athlete myself, but maybe because I've always been an injured person, like because of my leg, like I don't know if I'm injured. I mean, I played and everything, but I've never had a severe injury. Like, what did you have?
I injured my ACL.
Tore his ACL. I've never had an injury on that level. What about you, Jose? What was the injury that you had after you attempted?
Well, I never really went to the doctor yet, but it's something with my knee. Hopefully not ACL, MCL, any of those, you know.
Or meniscus.
Yeah.
Or tendons.
So exactly. So you guys heard that ACL injuries. Like that's a serious injury. That's you get metal stuff in your knee. You know, there's a whole that's a serious injury, and that's a usual injury that a lot of athletes get because the knees are the knees, right? But my question to you, gentlemen, because you two, I don't know, and I don't want to speak for y'all, but y'all seem like you guys really are passionate about soccer, even at this point in your life. So I'll start with you, Jose. So first, if you just can give us some context as far as your relationship with soccer and what it is to you, and then interject. So what age you start playing?
I think the first like actual organized games and stuff was around 6.
You start
6 or
playing
7?
at 6?
Yeah, 6 or 7, and then but it was always everybody was in this like the learning basically.
Yeah,
It
when
wasn't
you're that
all-
age, you're just running for the ball.
Yeah, everybody was just chasing the ball and all that stuff, and then from there, just kept playing for a couple more years and all that stuff, and
Yeah.
then middle school. Started playing football. We got interested in football, and so I left it for a little bit. School-wise, like school terms, we started to play football, and then after that, summertime, it was back to playing soccer.
Okay.
So around 7, I would say, it was like organized. There was some goal
Yeah.
to the game. Now it wasn't just like running around.
Yeah.
And then high school-wise, I started to play again because my high school wasn't that good for football, and I was like, I'll just play soccer instead.
Is that where like the want picked up a little more? Because it looks like you've always been an athlete. Like you just said, you look like you play some football too.
Mm-hmm.
So is that high school where like, you like kind of went in with intention, or is that you're still just playing just because you wanted to play a sport?
In high school, it was different now because I was it started to be more athletic.
Mm-hmm.
We playing other sports like football as well before it, and then track, all that stuff. So it was just starting to be more athletic, and I started to get more into it as well. And then right there, playing in other teams, like older teams with other people with my brother,
Yeah.
and playing in their level, in their tournaments and all that stuff. And then from there, I was doing pretty well. I was like 16 or so. I was playing with my brother.
Above average,
his-
pretty well. Or what would you
I would
rate it?
say above average, more because I was fast.
Oh, you were like a.
yeah. Doing track really helped out like more on it, so that's what helped me out, like be on the sides.
So you were a
So-
wing? Did you play a lot of wing, or was that position in high school?
I don't know in English, pero
Dilo en español, ¿viste? Hablamos español aquí.
lateral, no sé.
Lateral. Can you just
So,
describe it?
Like the right defender.
Yes, the
basically.
wing. Yeah, right.
I think winger is like midfielder.
Midfield?
Like,
Okay, fair. So lateral,
on
el
the
lateral.
side,
Sí.
Yeah.
Okay.
Defensa acá atrás.
Okay, so defensa, lateral,
Mhm.
and then all right.
So I started playing that, and I said like running track and training in there helped out a lot. So by 16, like I was pretty good. I was pretty decent. It got me a fake ID.
Nice.
So we played in a tournament.
Of
You
course,
you
of
had to be
course.
You had to be 21 at the Alianza for that 1 year for some reason. You had to be 21. I think they did 2. That's why. But so I went to go play with this other team.
Yeah.
They helped me out with my brother's team, and so they wanted just to see if I could go play.
Yeah.
And so I got a fake ID out of it. I played, and then once the tournament was over, that guy was like, just come play next Sunday. You could keep the ID and just show up on Sunday. I was like, all right. Cool.
So at that point, are you developing, like, are you taking it serious? Is it still just a game, something to do, or is it now that you're seeing like your potential? That okay.
They're like with that tournament. I was like, man, this is a different level now. It's not school wise anything related to that. And then in the tournaments, like these guys were serious. They would go play in the Alianza all the time, and then in the leagues as well.
Yeah.
They're always up there playing. Like at that time, it's still kind of around like Chivas, Atlas, where they're Logroñez, all that stuff. Like the teams right now.
Yeah.
So they're still around, which is very cool, And so we were playing with them, and I thought that was pretty nice. And that was also like a push to like pursue it more.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, then I was thinking, I'll go into track to actually train to do for more speed and stamina and all that stuff, endurance, and then just use it for soccer afterwards.
Okay.
At that point, I was a little bit more focused for it. And then, just kept training, did other sports as well, just to fill up time as well, because track wasn't year round.
So you were always a full-blown athlete, aside from just playing soccer. You've always played something.
I tried.
From little league football, you said track, and then you dibbled and dabbled.
Yeah,
When?
I tried. Like in the winter time for sure, like November to February or so.
Yeah.
It was the wrestling time.
Oh yeah.
'Cause there was no other sports going on. Everything had to be inside. There was indoor soccer that we used to play, but there was no other sort of trainings going on.
Mhm.
Even track hadn't started yet.
Yeah.
So during that time, I went into that one as well,
Mhm.
and that one was hard, man.
I'm
Those
sure,
trainings,
I'm
they're
sure.
nothing.
They're
compared-
ruthless. You can
nothing-
break an arm.
Nothing compared to the soccer trainings, like the endurance trainings. None of it compared to it. Not even CrossFit compares to that.
Damn.
Those were some intense like cardio sessions.
Like some serious, like just being all over each other type shit. Huh? So okay, so 16, you're starting to play it outside the school. You're just trying to see that, man, it's looking a little serious. At this point, what do you feel like? Do you even care about soccer like that yet, or is it just another sport to play?
I think at every moment, once you actually start to learn about positions and stuff, once you get maybe around 10 or 12 years old,
Yeah.
and you start to like figure out more positions, like you're not putting just random people on your board like on FIFA. Like, well,
Yeah.
if this guy would have Ronaldo at defense because he was 99 and stuff. I was like, dude, that's not gonna help out. Like, no, but check it, everybody's 99. I was like, it doesn't work that way. So once you move past that, that you're like, okay, this guy actually only plays this side, and this
Yeah.
guy plays only this side, and this guy only that. Once you're into that, then you start seeing like, I could go into clubs, I could go do other teams, and then like try to have some a way to be pro, and that's always the dream, I think, for everybody, That's always like the one goal.
So is that when you decided that that would be one of your goals or your dreams?
I thought that would be cool. Yeah, I always thought that.
16, 17?
Yeah.
Okay.
The biggest thing was always that, since it was playing the sport,
Yeah.
I would basically always be like relaxing.
Mhm.
I would always be in sweatpants. I would always be like.
You love
workout-
it.
in
Some
workout
typical
gear.
Jose shit right there.
You know, I would always be working out basically. You know, like who wouldn't want to be at the park all day?
And comfortable and everything.
You know, that would be the best. So, yeah, I was like, yeah, I could do this. I could be in my sweats all day, just kick a ball around. I was like, that would be the best.
Yeah.
You know, so from there, yeah, I was like, maybe I could try a little bit more and all that stuff. And then, just heard about other clubs and at the time it was like Rush, and Storm, Fusion,
mhm.
all those other ones.
They're
like
still
that.
around, too.
Mhm. Yeah, those are the Rapids Academy is always still around and all that stuff. El Real, Colorado, todos those.
Yeah.
So just going to those, and if not, just like playing around in the street leagues here, in the home leagues, I guess.
Yeah.
And then from there, just like I said, always trying out for the clubs. And then high school wise, I didn't really think about the soccer anymore. Like senior year, because I didn't think I was gonna do anything about it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, it was a shift that happened with like 2 years.
So what? So from sophomore to halfway to junior, you were into it, or is it freshman to sophomore?
I think like freshman to
halfway to junior.
like junior-ish or so.
And then like halfway through junior, you just kind of had a shift where you're like.
Yeah,
So what was that shift?
girls.
I feel you. Yeah.
So at that point too, I wasn't like practicing enough for that
You were
stuff.
not focused.
I didn't even care. I didn't even think about seeing if I could try out for a school, like maybe win a spot, get a scholarship with them, or anything. Like our coach is like, maybe he knows somebody from a school and I could get a session or something.
Yeah.
Not like, no, I didn't even think about that, man. I just graduated high school and then thought about working. Well, I was working before it, before I graduated, and then I just finished. I was like, now I have more time to work. But I kept playing on Sundays, and I was like, I think that'll be enough.
Sundays was this a
For the
club
Sunday
or
league?
just- oh, Sunday
Yeah.
league. Okay, so you were
It was
still
in the
playing
where I got the fake ID.
organized. You were
Yeah,
still playing
yeah,
organized.
because like with them, I was like, we're playing against these teams all the time. I was like, I think that's good enough.
Yeah.
You know, like we see them every weekend, and like every 3 months we see them in a tournament and stuff. So I thought it was enough with them
Okay.
and all that. So yeah, just kept working on that stuff, and then went to college, went to Grand Junction, and in Grand Junction I didn't really play anymore.
So 4 years you were like off, or 3 years? How long were you
3
in-
years out
3
there.
years in Grand Junction?
Yeah, I would play around like pickup games and all
Yeah,
that stuff,
yeah.
but I never tried for the
But nothing
school.
organized.
Nah, not for the school anymore. I didn't try out for the school, and there was no leagues out there either. You had to go down to, I don't know, like there was like this other city next, kind of like a little bit down.
Is it Trinidad?
Nah,
Is that, no, that's not. My fault.
I don't know what city it is, but
But it's
it
a
was
smaller
like
town
it was
next
yeah
door.
like somewhere down, and like somehow like they had a league,
Oh.
like a little Sunday league and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but Grand Junction didn't, which was weird.
So you like soccer, but it kept happening where you didn't like you would try and then you would stop and then you would try, right?
Mhm.
But so far, what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you got your you did your 3 years in Grand Junction for your college, and then when did you pick up soccer after Grand Junction?
Well, I played around in there, like on the, just at the parks, you know, Saturdays or
With the
Sundays,
friends,
just
yeah,
just
3-on-3
out there and
type
stuff. So we just kind of like always kept it around and all that stuff. But when I did come back, after a couple of 2-3 years out there,
Yeah.
then I came back, and then from here I started to play again. Once I came back to school,
Mhm.
I went back to that same team where I got the ID. It was
Nice.
Brazil, like we even had the Brazil uniform.
Yeah.
So I went back to play with them and all that, but it wasn't the same because in Grand Junction, I only lifted. I didn't do any sort of cardio.
Oh, so you're big on top.
Yeah.
And no legs,
Like
right?
well, like the legs were like we did legs as well, but we never did cardio.
Mm.
Like I never ran or anything. And when I came back to try to run, it wasn't the same. Dude.
You didn't have that
I
slickness, that speed,
Yeah,
huh?
I felt so heavy and all that stuff. Like I felt fine. Like I felt lean. And
Yeah,
all that
yeah, yeah.
stuff.
You were in shape.
But when I was running and took a step, like I felt like my legs were too heavy, like from before and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, it's not the same. And then so then I was like, oh, I gotta train more. So I started running
Yeah.
and all that stuff. Even at Metro, in one of the parking lots, I used to, after my classes, before coming to work, in one of the parking lots, they had stairs, and they had those stairs were cool because they were sectioned. They were like every 10 steps or so, it would like this way, and all that stuff. And then one of them was like a full straight one. So even like I started to do that. I started to run the stairs, like go up the stairs. Like I would do.
Just to get more lean.
Yeah, and that was like right after class. That would be like 30-40 minutes of it or so. I would do maybe like four going up and all that stuff because it like kicks your ass.
So and that was you because you didn't like how you felt on the soccer field again.
Yeah.
And you
'Cause I
wanted to
thought
get back to the thing.
I felt too heavy with every step and all that stuff. So I wanted to be lighter, and I was like, that's gonna be my lightest work, running on my toes up the stairs and stuff.
Yeah.
And it did. It helped out for a while, but I didn't do any other sort of proper training.
Yeah.
And then I overdid it.
Ooh.
And then until I got hurt one time, and it took some time off, and then I tried to go back, and then but that time I was already done with school, so I
Yeah.
didn't have the stairs. That was an excuse.
Yeah.
I didn't have the stairs anymore, so I was like, oh, I can't do that. You know,
Yeah.
I can't train like that anymore. And then just, but kept training a little bit, kept playing, all that stuff. And then when I was graduating, close to graduating, one of my cousins in Chicago, his wife, her brother, owns an indoor team
Okay.
over there. And there's a professional league, like cross country.
Uh-huh.
And they own a team. Like
Yeah.
her brother and like his friends or like some other people and stuff.
Yeah.
They own a team, like traveling team and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And during that time, they called my mom and they're like, hey, so we're gonna go to Colorado. They kind of thought they were coming close to us. So he was like, hey, we're gonna go stay at your house, and then come to the game and all that stuff. And they told us, but they were actually gonna go to Colorado Springs.
Oh. Okay.
So from there, we're like, dude, you know what? Like we'll go. Like
Yeah.
it's not even that far. Like we'll go watch the game. We can come back to the house. Like doesn't matter. Like it's not that far and all that. And so we went, and they're playing against the team here.
Yeah.
The Colorado has a team as well. So the
In that league.
yeah. So Colorado, it was the Denver Inferno at that time. I think they changed the name now. I think it's still Inferno, but I think it might be Colorado or something else. And the Chicago one at that time was the Mustangs and all that. And so we went to go watch them and all that. And then playing them, we saw a couple of people that we had seen in the tournaments here.
Yeah.
In the Alianza and all that. We had seen a couple of people there in the Denver Inferno team playing and all that. And yeah, so we went to go watch them and all that stuff. And so there, that was like a second outlet because I didn't go to school, so I didn't even do any college soccer. I didn't do any of that.
So that got you back in technically. After.
Yeah, like I didn't have any other club experiences younger. I always play like on the outside leagues and all that stuff. I went to the Rapids tryouts
sure you
3
did.
times, but they didn't like me. They didn't want me.
That's their heart.
Yeah, because the only thing was I was telling Osvaldo that because they didn't have any sort of history on me.
Yeah,
like,
they couldn't recall where you played, or
Yeah,
they didn't have like
'cause
files.
they told me every time there's like, well, like that was about the process. Like every day,
Yeah.
you select the team, and then the next day those come in, and then it gets cut again, and then the next team comes in. So I made it like to the last ones, and at the very end, they're always like, well, where have you played before? Like, or are you out of state because we haven't seen you maybe in the other club tournament outside and all that. And I was like, well, I've been just here like playing in the streets and all that stuff. And they're like, well, it's cause we don't know how you play in games. We haven't seen you. And I was like, dude, like you just see me in the tryouts. Like this is what I'm gonna do, and then more with training. And so they were just like, nah, just maybe you go try out to another club, and then from there you come and try out here, And I was like, nah, dude, whatever. So I just started playing the other team, and then from there too, it was when I got the ID. So at that time I was like, well, these guys gave me an ID, and we play with these other teams that you're talking about and all that. So that's why I was like, that doesn't really, that I'll be fine here.
Yeah.
And so I lost that part in the college one, and then when I was in Grand Junction, I was just lifting because my friends didn't play either.
Yeah, they were just lifters.
So I was like, oh, it's okay, I'm still doing stuff. And then so going to that game, that was the second time, I guess, the second opportunity that I would get.
Yeah.
It was the second one, and then from there just kept playing, kept training, all that stuff, and then just got hurt, dude. Again, my hamstring. I felt like I pulled it, tore it, something.
So
And-
far, how many injuries? 2. Because you did something
It's
when you
been-
trained wrong with the stairs or something, right? Or the lifting.
Yeah, from there, I think my hamstrings again still.
It was the same thing.
Yeah, because it stopped me from running. Because it wasn't like I didn't get hit or like twist anything.
Yeah.
But it was on like on the running motion.
Okay.
So then I had that, and I said, and then coming back from the indoor, I was training again, all that stuff. But then it was my hamstring again.
Mhm.
It got pulled, tore, whatever.
Yeah.
I went to go get checked out from that one as well.
Okay.
And they were just like, well, it's not a big enough tear, I guess, or big enough of a problem. They're like, so we can't necessarily do anything. We just have to leave it at this point and like let it go on its own and then
Yeah.
training and stuff, you know, because
Yeah.
they're like, if we go in, we're basically gonna rip it us, you know, and then it's gonna heal like that. So it was like in an in between time space, I guess. And so there was just stay off. Of
Nothing you
it,
can do, yeah.
And this and this, and I was like, okay, I guess like you're the professional.
I'll
But
believe you.
I always thought like something else could have happened. Like they could have told me something different, to do something different. Cause I just did it like so like willingly. I was like, okay, cool, whatever. I'll take a break.
That's what they're saying.
I'll take a break, I guess.
That's how Jose twice about a break.
But, yeah.
So okay, and then after that, what happened? It just
Well,
it
that
brings-
one like they had told me about 6 weeks or so, and it should be ready. It's like because it doesn't look too bad.
Yeah.
You know, just don't pull it in the running motion or exercise. Like don't just let it be.
Yeah.
And it should be fine. Like it'll just like get back together. And so I let it happen. It was like 6 weeks or 7. Then I came back to play and I tried to run and nope, I felt right away like the same like area, same spot.
the little pool.
Yeah, the same pull, like little poke, like pinch. I was like, man, this is the same thing. And I took a step, like a high step, and I felt it. And I was like, no, this didn't. The 6 weeks, like it didn't help out. At first, I was like, maybe it's just it should have been 8 weeks, a little bit more longer time.
Yeah.
You know. So then I said again, I'll just do a little bit more time because they already told me, and it's the same. You know. So for that one, it was just about 8 weeks or so. The season ended, and I was like, okay, even better. I'll take a little bit more break.
Yeah.
But because the season ended, it ended in winter time.
Yeah.
At that time too, I just got more lazy. I
Yeah,
was
of
like,
course.
nah, I'm just not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Stuff. And I was like, I'll just wait for the summertime to slowly get back into it. You know, I would take more rest and all that. But yeah, but then summertime, I tried to do some stuff, but it never got consistent. So then I dropped off again, and then from there, I tried to play, but I started to play now more, just
Safe.
like recreationally, because at that point, I was already maybe like 26 or so, and I was like, oh, I think it's kind of done by now. If anything, I could try to play like in a really good team here and for the Alianza.
Yeah.
You know, I could try to play there. You know, in an organized team where we go practice and stuff, like more competitively, but not anymore to go
Pro.
to get paid.
To get
Yeah,
paid.
to get paid like some sort of contract. You
So-
know, even if it was little.
So the hamstring was the injury that kind of took you out, really.
Yeah, because the first one I thought that I was gonna come back fine because I was like, okay, I'll just keep stretching and do my normal easy stuff, and you know just be fine. And it didn't heal at all. And then the next time, like I said, I felt the same thing. I didn't feel it worse, but in the time as well, again like another excuse because it was the winter time.
Yeah, of
I was
course.
like, I'll take more time. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, you know, it's cold outside. You know, I can't
Yeah.
even run. You know, like I can't be in the park. So.
And then after that was just like you said, recreational stuff with the friends,
Yeah, I was
with
like,
the
I-
families, park.
Well, I still wanted to do a little bit more competitive, so
Okay.
I was kind of looking for maybe a team that I could go practice.
Mhm.
You know, go practice twice a week or so, and like everybody shows up. All the 11 people show up, you know, 30 minutes before. We're not looking 5 minutes before, like, oh man, where's the goalie and stuff
Yeah.
like that, like organized. Like,
Everybody's taking it serious.
yeah, like we're wearing uniforms and all that stuff. You know,
Everybody
like,
got the same socks on.
Mhm. Yeah, like everything is good and all that stuff. So I was like, I'll do that still because I could go practice and we'll play some good tournament teams and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Because I was like 26, 27. I was like, that's already too bad, too late.
So at that point, it was like that's it. You weren't going for the same intention. At this point, it was just try to play a little bit, keep you in shape, run a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, after that one, because like I said, a little bit after the hamstring as well. But before that, I was going in the park in the mornings,
Mm-hmm.
as well before work and all that. 2-3 times a week, and then running drills. Like when I told Osvaldo, Camilo, we went a couple of times and we did a little bit of like what I would do, but like all the drills I tell you guys that we could do on Sundays that we've been slacking.
Slackers, bruh.
That's what I would do.
Camilo's engineering the session today, by the way. Shout out.
Disagree.
Keep going, Jose.
Yeah, so I used to do like quite a lot of training, and that's also what kind of like bothered me, because I was like, I'm doing a lot. I am running, I'm working out, I'm trying to sleep, eat, drink water, and all that stuff. So I was, putting it in my part, but I got hurt, and then I was like, why? And then so I took it easy and stuff. Then I got hurt again, and all that stuff. And I took it easy again, but then I took it way too easy.
And then that was kind of
Yeah,
it.
because that next summer I was like, oh man, like this is much harder than usual. Like I didn't have to fight this hard to go run, last year. And then it just started getting more and more like that. And then yeah, just started playing just more casually, all that stuff. We started to play
The league.
Kinder here,
Yeah, you guys are in.
which we have 3 years now. This is 3 years. About like 7 seasons, 8 seasons, something like that.
See, this is exactly why we're having this conversation. 3 years, 7 seasons. But all right, thank you, Jose. Thank you for the context of that. So now I want to shift the attention to Osvaldo. So, kind of give us your context and how you got into soccer and just dealing soccer with ACL injury.
I feel like mine's the opposite.
Whoa, hey, go ahead.
Like I never liked soccer.
Okay.
I like in elementary, like all my friends would play, and like I had no interest in it.
At all?
No, I had no interest in it, and then
Why?
I don't know. I like
You're an inside kid, huh?
Did you play other sports instead?
no.
He was an inside kid.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I think I was.
kid before.
Yeah, he was a key last kid. So you were inside more, right? After school, you were going home straight, whatever was going on there, right?
Yeah, like, and then even during recess, like my friends would play. Yeah, like they would play soccer, and like I never played.
Mm.
Like I would go in, like my friends sometimes would like want me to play, but like I didn't know how to play. Like, I didn't know positions or anything. And then, like even on TV, like I would find it boring to watch. Like I never took interest in it.
But you didn't watch any sports at that point, right? You're not even watching the American stuff.
Nah.
So you were just not. That was not. You were not there yet.
Like, I remember every Sunday, like morning, like it would be like cartoons, and then like a game, like a soccer game, like on TV.
Oh, okay.
And like I don't know, I liked watching the cartoons, but then once the soccer game started, I was like, nah, this is not. I'm not gonna watch this.
Okay.
And then
And this was what, middle school?
no, this was like elementary.
Elementary school. Okay.
And then middle school, same thing. My friends played, like gym class, like we would play, but again, I never really cared.
Yeah.
And then, like they were like, oh, like they have like the school had a team, so they were like, oh, let's all join and stuff. And I was like, okay, like I'll join. And during that time, like in gym class, like I was actually kind of fast.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, like soccer is running.
And you like running.
Yeah, I liked running. That part I did like. So I was like, okay, I'll just run. And that's what I did in middle school. Like I just like ran. Like I was on the wing or on defense too. And like I don't think I played good, but I think I was able to run, I guess.
Yeah.
And then high school came along, and well, at this point I kind of took it a little bit more seriously, because now it's like high school. Now it's like a bit more competitive.
Yeah.
But even then, like I still wasn't good.
So freshman, are you playing in the team? Okay. Freshman.
Yeah, I played all throughout middle school and all throughout high school.
Okay.
But what ended up happening was, so freshman year, like I feel like that was kind of like Like I remember our first game freshman year. Like the people we were playing were big, like they were tall, and I remember thinking, what the fuck, like.
Playing football.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like I remember I would look at my teammates and we're all like small.
Skinny.
And like the other team, like they're huge. And like it was just a JV team.
It was not even like a
And
varsity team.
yeah, and I was like, what? Like that doesn't seem right. But we ended up winning somehow. So that was cool. All the games were really cool. Like all my friends were there, so that was all cool. And then
So at this point, what is soccer to you at that point? Is it serious? Is it just another sport? Is it just you hanging out with your friends? What is
mostly
soccer
it
to
was that, just hanging out with my friends.
you? Okay.
That's what it mostly was. And then at that point, like I've always been like defense or on the wings.
Yeah.
But in one of the games, they put me in the middle, like midfield middle basically. And like I was the type of person to receive the ball and like immediately pass it. Like
You didn't have that confidence yet with the ball?
Nah.
Mhm.
So they put me in the middle, and like I remember thinking that was like super strange. I was like, why are they putting me in the middle? Like I don't have that. Again, same thing. I don't have that confidence. So they put me in the middle, and like I actually dribbled. I actually
Took it.
like I actually like ran through people,
Mm-hmm.
and like I got an assist. Like that was my first assist ever.
You still remember it, huh?
Yeah, because again, like I for me it was just running around.
Watch the socks.
For me, it was just running around. But then I was like, okay, like I can actually run with the ball. I can actually contribute, I guess.
Be part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, was it like a little more?
Yeah,
stress-free?
at that point, it was a bit more motivating.
Freshman, sophomore?
Freshman.
Freshman? Okay.
That was freshman year.
When you're part of the team now.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
So then I was like, okay, cool. Like I can actually be good.
You sure?
Yeah.
And I was like, I can actually be kind of good then.
Yeah.
So then sophomore year came, and again, like I was still like I was always starting. That's one thing I did have. Like I always started the games,
That says a lot, actually, especially in high school.
even in middle school actually.
Nice.
But yeah, like and then I still started, and like I was again I still contributed. I think like I was still taking it a bit more seriously, and then sophomore year, I want to say like fourth game into the season, that's when my ACL broke. So it was pretty early into the season. So I remember everything that day actually. It's weird. Like I remember like
Break
all
it
the
down.
other games I
Break it
don't
down.
remember.
Walk us through that day. What happened?
It was like it was a Saturday game. So I remember we had to get there early. We had to get to the what? Oh, 30th.
Ooh,
Yeah.
he came back with a number. I'll say he's not playing.
There was
August.
a wax crescent moon that day.
It was kind of
It was-
cloudy,
Yeah. Overcast.
overcast. So August the 30th.
No, September 30th.
Excuse me,
Yeah,
September.
September 30th.
There was a
So
black.
did you just have your anniversary, basically? Or you're about to?
Oh, don't remind them.
Well, you were talking about it.
Yeah. So again, like, so it was. We had the game, and I remember I was starting. I was up front. Like I was still middle, so I was up front. I forgot how, but I got the ball all the way to the front, and then like the goalie was from here to where Camilo's at. So
You got it, right?
pretty close. Like and then
Yes, you're in the box, basically.
I'm
at
in the
this point.
box and
Yeah.
there's no defenders on me. Like the defenders are like,
Miles away.
yeah, like
Continent.
like no one's there.
Central America.
To be exact.
So like like no one was there. So right when I was about to kick it, I looked down, and then I looked up, and the goalie, like no one was. There was no defenders. So
Yeah.
so he was the one that had to come at me.
Okay.
So he
The
came
goalie.
The goalie.
You look up and empty net.
So like I look up and like I see him running towards me. So I'm like, okay, like I just need to kick it.
He dove at you.
Yeah. So
Hands first or feet first?
hands first.
Okay.
Cannonball first.
Yeah, basically, actually. So
Jose's a good goalie too, but I guess.
so while I was about to kick it, he actually like hits my leg.
Mm-hmm.
He hits my knee, and my knee like let's say this is my knee, like bends, and like I do like a front flip, and everyone says like you hear a pop. I don't think. Well,
Did you hear a pop?
I don't think I did.
Did you feel a pop?
I felt something.
Was
And-
it just pain? Or is it just the pain came later?
The pain came later.
Okay.
So I did the front flip. I remember,
Stuck the landing.
like I just landed like sitting
With
down.
the bone now and shit. Hey, you want to take it? Then we take it there.
And then, like again, it's a game, so I'm like I've fallen before,
Yeah, you just got
So-
up normally.
so I tried to get up, and I couldn't. Like my arms were moving, but my legs were not.
Yeah.
So I was like, what the fuck happened? I was like, did I just break my spine or something?
Like,
Yeah.
my legs.
My leg.
My legs.
But I didn't know it was my legs. Like
You just couldn't move like the
I just-
bottom
yeah.
part of your body.
my boat, like for some reason, both legs, I couldn't move them.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, like I couldn't get up. And then they came on, took me out. That was in the first half too.
Like not even 15 minutes in.
Yeah, like 50. Like yeah. The game had
That's
it.
what. That's versus in the bone
The
joke.
game had it started. Yeah. This is practice.
It was just
Yeah, I got
practice.
hurt in COVID. So
Fair enough.
So yeah, they got me off, and then the coach was like, "Oh, it's just a knee sprain.
take this injection, you'll be fine.
Get back out there, boy.
It's just a knee sprain." And then halftime came.
Like munch on these pills. You'll be okay. You'll be okay.
Don't tell your parents. Don't tell your parents.
And then he was like, "Hey, can you go back in?"
Yeah.
And like I was always the type to be like, "Hell yeah!" But this time I was like, "Nah, for sure." It hurt so much that I was like, "Nah, for sure." I had to sit out this game. So I sat out.
Are you walking, limping, or what's the movement?
I still can't move. I still.
Like there was no movement. So were you
How was
being?
your knee? Like swollen? You couldn't bend it? What?
I couldn't bend it. Like the swollen hadn't kicked in yet, so I couldn't bend it. I was able to sit down, but it hurt. So at that point, I just laid on the ground with it straight. That made it not hurt. And then by the end of the game, we had to get on the bus, and at that point, I was able to walk. So that's why it didn't seem horrible. Like I was able to walk. I was able to go up the bus.
Same.
Like it hurt, but it wasn't horrible.
It was bearable.
And then on the bus, same thing. I just elevated it, and then got to the school. And then the coach was like, "Oh, okay, I'll give you a ride home." So he drove me home, and then even then, like my mom was like, "Oh, let's go to the store." Like she wanted to go to the store.
Yeah, some regular stuff.
Mm-hmm. So I drove. Like everything was fine,
Yeah.
but it still hurt. So like I remember looking.
And even a limp, just like a little
tiny
sharp
bit,
pain.
a tiny limp.
But
Yeah.
that's my walk, you know.
That's a sprained knee, like the coach said.
That's
sprained
how
knee.
Yeah,
pimp-
that's what I was
That's how
thinking.
pimps walks, anyways. That's,
That's what I was thinking.
that's my stride, anyways. I didn't see nothing different.
And
Fair
then
enough.
yeah, because I was like, "Fuck it," like something broken. So I remember I started looking at a mirror,
Mm-hmm.
and like everything looked fine. So I was like, "No, then everything's fine." But then that night was homecoming.
Dun 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 dun.
So
You had a hot day,
no,
Dude,
but
I gotta bust it
like,
down today.
But same thing. All my friends were going.
so you were going as a group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Who was it? Aaron was there actually.
Ooh.
Aaron.
Whoa. Okay.
Like I actually remember I remember he texted me like, 'cause I kind of wasn't sure about going. Same thing because of the knee. But then Aaron was like, "Hey, like let's go." I was like, "Okay, yeah."
There's gonna be girls, drugs, sex, and rock and roll.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Okay, let's go." So I put on botas and
course.
tejana.
Of course. That's who
Wouldn't
you
be-
are.
it wouldn't
That's
be
who
you.
he is, ladies and gentlemen.
You hear this coming up? You hear this, world?
he hears it nice and clear. Look at those headphones. Okay, so
So-
botas.
Yeah, and then like I was still able to walk, but it felt weird. And then they put on El Caballo Dorado,
Oh, you went out like that. You would.
and
Mi mero mole.
even with botas, like it's slippery. Like
'Cause you're not really touching on a boot. The boot is like a thing.
yeah, So it's already slippery.
Cowboy boot. Yeah, it's like.
Yeah,
this.
it's slippery already, and then on dance floor it's even more slippery.
And then those moves you have to, because the Caballo Dorado,
Yeah,
you have
it's
to turn
fast,
and go
uh-huh.
in.
So while I was doing it, like it's weird, but my knee felt like wobbly. It felt loose,
Damn,
and with
you
the
were
bo-
really breaking it down.
and with the botas, like it felt even more. Like it just
I could feel
it
it.
just
right
felt
now.
dangling. It just felt like it was dangling.
Like it was not connected to
Yeah.
you like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think it was the Caballo Dorado that took it there? Or was it just going to already be there somehow?
It was just
If
there.
you kept walking.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or you think like landing that front flip? You
No,
shouldn't have
no.
tried that front flip, about
Wait, cowboy boots. I don't hype you up, man. I don't.
You see what happens when you try to get fancy scoring a goal? Front flipping the goalie.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Just shoot. Just shoot. Simple.
Instant karma for trying to be too flashy.
And then the next day, like I actually went to the emergency room.
Because you were in pain at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Excruciating pain.
And then they took an X-ray. They were like, "No, you're fine."
He's smiling.
They were like,
I
"No."
love doctors sometimes.
We probably went to the same place.
We seen the guy with a knee too. You're fine. He didn't come back. So
Like
he's
I
fine.
told them.
Hey, dude, this guy's hamstrings, they healed. He hasn't been back.
Yeah, they were like, they took X-rays. They was like, "No, like everything looks good."
Okay.
We
So
probably got somebody from those like online New York
Yeah.
medical things that
Yeah.
were going on,
Oh, this was
or
at
Las
the-
Vegas ones.
this was the children's hospital.
But they probably studied in those.
They got this.
What is it,
somehow.
like their farm degrees or whatever?
Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, so it was just the children's hospital, and then the next week I tried going back to practice,
Mhm.
but I couldn't run. I tried running.
You couldn't
Mm-mm.
take off.
I couldn't.
Damn.
So I told the coach, I was like, "It still hurts. Like I'm not sure." And then he was just like, "Okay, then take the week off. Come back next week." And then I still had gym at the time, so in gym class I was like, it was a strength and conditioning class, so we didn't really run, but we still did like weights and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was able to do all that fine, and like the leg exercises, like I could do them kind of. So again, I was like, okay, nothing's wrong. But then 2 weeks passed, and I still couldn't run. So I was like, okay, at this point, something might be wrong. And then in gym class, we were doing box jumps,
Oh boy.
and like we were doing box jumps, and like the two smaller ones I was able to do.
Yeah.
And then there was one like this high actually.
7 feet high.
I forgot how big it was, but it was like this high.
Yeah.
And I tried it, and I landed it, and that's like the most pain I've ever held.
Of ever in your life.
At that point, I just fucking jumped down,
Just cried it out.
and like I just like ran to the locker room because I felt like I was gonna pass out.
Oh, the pain was that kind of.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that's. I can feel it.
Like
So you
But-
went to the locker room, like, I gotta get my stuff, I gotta change, put my shoes on, get in my car just in case I pass out.
Just in case.
because so like the water fountain was in the locker room, so
Oh.
I went to the locker room to get water. I was
Okay.
like, fuck, like, I need to get
To spray it off.
turn on the whole shower.
Shh.
Like I need water on my knee. But no, I want to go get water. And like at that point, that's when I was like, super lightheaded. I was like, I felt like I was gonna pass out. So I just like laid on a bench basically.
And passed out.
I didn't pass out, but I just stayed there like for 5 minutes. And then at that point, I was like, okay. Yeah, at that point, I was like, nah, something for sure.
Yeah.
And even before then, like, our school had stairs. So, like, going up the stairs randomly, like, my knee would give out. Randomly, like...
Before that?
Yeah, before that, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like, randomly, I would just be going upstairs and, like...
The knee buckles.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And again, I thought that was the knee sprain. I still thought it was the knee sprain. But, no, like, and then... At that point, I went back to the doctors. They took another x-ray.
Yeah.
Same thing. You're fine. But they were like, okay, but we'll set up like an MRI appointment or something. And I had the MRI on my birthday, actually.
Happy birthday.
So it was November. It was middle of November. So by the time I sprained it like in October. So like a month and a half before I actually got the MRI done. And then I got the MRI done. And then like a month later, no, like a few weeks later, they were like, yeah, it's broken. Like all your ligaments are broken.
Body.
New leg.
Like,
He didn't bring his face, Camilo.
You need a new body.
You need to be part of our cloning, sir.
He's like, yep. Okay.
So they were like, yeah. So they're like, everything's broken. Your
Back is broken.
yeah, like everything, everything's completely broken. You need surgery. So that was in November. I didn't have the surgery scheduled till January.
Okay.
So
Next year already.
So for basically what, like 3 months? Yeah, 3 months I was
Bedridden?
no, well, for 3 months I was
Brace.
walking with a
3 months fucking straight up.
with a broken knee, basically.
Woo!
With a broken ACL.
That's it.
Mhm.
All right. So, and then you got the so how was the whole thing to get you back?
Ooh, that was
Ongoing.
Tell me about it.
it was pretty. It wasn't horrible, but it was bad.
Okay.
So for the first 2 weeks or so, like I couldn't get out of bed. Like I had after surgery, like for 2 weeks I couldn't get out of bed.
Just getting goosebumps.
Like
Tell him.
I had
Videos that surgery might not be the best.
for an ACL.
Well, not for ACL. For the meniscus.
Yeah, for the meniscus, no.
Yeah. 'Cause I think that's more what I've felt. I think that's my
Second opinion. Stop playing these
You,
games.
you need an actual MRI.
Yeah, you're right. Let's get the first opinion. You're right. So
So for like the first 2 weeks, like I basically had like my leg had a big sleeve over it that was supposed to cool down my knee. Like it was connected to like an ice machine, and basically my whole leg was
What's in it?
cooled. Mm-hmm. Basically, my whole leg was being cooled down. I had a bag by my side that would.
go to the bathroom?
it's a different type of injury.
It is because he thought it. Look, well,
No, as well.
It's not a shit bag.
No, it was just a morphine.
Catheter back.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
the
a
proper
morph-
way to say it.
I didn't have it actually.
Oh yeah, that's valid though, because you couldn't really get
Yeah,
up
'cause
or
you can't
bent
move.
down.
How are you gonna go to the bathroom if you're
Yeah, no, how are you doing?
bedridden for 2 weeks?
So
He just leaned
No.
over to the side. He was like,
I actually
That's a valid question.
I forgot what I think they
Explain it
told
to us
me
in detail.
that I wouldn't be able to go for
To the bathroom anyway.
yeah
Because of the shock of your body.
something like along those lines or something, or for like again
believe you not eating or drinking for days.
Yeah, you just
yeah
sat
I
there.
couldn't
You
either
already
yeah
do that.
I couldn't
You
do that
still do
either.
That's his only diet.
You still do that.
So I had like a bag of morphine basically, and like it would inject morphine into me.
And
And
you were just,
at certain like I didn't like it
you
was
didn't feel
Mm-mm.
euphoric.
nah, like it was just
numbing at least the pain of the leg.
I rode
Mhm.
this wave before.
I've been here before, ladies and
I've
gentlemen.
been
Like that
big
first
cajon
week,
already.
like I just was sleeping basically all day.
Yep, that's what morphine does.
So how long did it take for you to kind of get back to regular life?
So again, that was like for 2 weeks. Then after that, they were able to take that machine off and like just have like a brace.
Mm-hmm.
With that brace, I couldn't bend it at all.
It was just like that.
Yeah, it was just
Erect.
straight the whole time. I had that for like 2 months or like a month and a half. At that point, I could go back to school, but same thing, I couldn't. Like I had to walk with the brace, like for that month and a half.
Crutches type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And then, yeah, with crutches and everything. And then after that, after another month and a half, I still had it, but they allowed me to bend it slightly. They were like, okay, now we can start bending it to a certain point. So again, that was like 2 or 3 months in where I could now barely bend it. And then at that point was when I was able to start physical therapy.
How long was physical therapy?
Again, like 3 months, 3 or 4 months. And then
What was that moment when they made you cry?
So like the first few times, it was just like, okay,
It was like,
it was just
cute.
like,
They made me bend with my knee.
No,
Surprisingly.
not even.
Doctor, look at my knee. Like, why do my shorts have to be down, sir? Doctor, why are you touching me right on my knee?
Why are you locking the doors? Why are you locking the door?
well,
That
there,
wasn't bad at all.
it was actually, it was 2 women physical therapists. So
Hey man,
take that as you will.
take that as you will. He kept his sexuality straight on that one, even on that one, Camila. That's how you know. All right, so you were doing.
So at the beginning, like it was just like strengthen your quadricep, because so the surgery involved them cutting into my quadricep, taking a piece of my quadricep and using that as a graft for my ACL.
So you got part of that in your ACL right now.
No, my quadricep is my ACL.
Oh.
so lion quadricep.
Oof.
And his knee.
Because there's different versions. You could get a cadaver, like you could get a cadaver, but those aren't good. Like they'll break as easily as.
You want to live in one. So
You
like,
want your
you
own.
got catch a play. What if you bring in your own piece of quad? Sir, top piece, please.
Look at this. I marked it.
This is from Cheetah, sir.
I know some people use their hamstring. I had a
That's what
friend.
my sister got. They took it from her on the
Hamstring?
Mhm.
I had a friend that
For the recent one?
Yeah, for her.
I had a friend take it from his hamstring, but he ended up tearing it again.
Yeah, a lot of people tear it with the hamstring.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people re-tear with hamstring.
Football players and basketball players do that a lot.
And now I think there's been other new ones, but the most advanced one at the time was
What you did.
was quadricep. And they were like, so this is gonna be stronger, but not as flexible. So it basically counteracts itself.
There's like counseling it back. Like
Yeah.
you would move it, but it or erect it again.
So it basically like it would cancel each other out with a normal ACL, because an ACL isn't going to be as strong, but it's going to be way more flexible.
Mm-hmm.
And being flexible also helps it not break.
So you were not flexible. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. So what ended up happening too after that was, now the next thing for the therapy to do would be to actually bend it. So for like the first month or so, it was just like, okay, like try bending it. That's it. That's all the exercise was. Try bending it. And then like a month later, they got me on a bicycle. And I had to get to 90 degrees. And I couldn't. Like I would always just get right to, like I had to do a full turn on the bicycle. I'll get to the very top, but I couldn't turn it because of the pain.
Mm-hmm.
So one day, the physical therapist, like she's like, okay, go all the way up. I got all the way up. and then she spins it. Like she's the one that spins it. So-
Wherever you are, physical therapy, I appreciate you. Deep down from
yeah,
it.
like that's how. Yeah, like I
She's done it twice.
Yeah.
I understood it at the moment. I was like, no, this needs to happen. Like it's she spinned it, and again the pain was so
That pass out
much.
pain again.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's that pass out pain again. And after that, then it like
It set itself.
yeah, it like stretched itself enough, or like broke itself like enough where I
Into
could do it
place.
again.
Yeah.
Mhm. Where I could do it again. And yeah, that's all it was. Now the next few months of physical therapy were just strengthening my quadriceps, because if you were to look at my quadriceps, like my left would look normal, and then my right would like look deflated.
Yeah, because they just took something out, basically,
Yeah.
and you have to rebuild it again.
Yeah, basically all the muscle in my quadricep kind of like died or went away because it had been damaged.
Okay, so thanks for your context. Appreciate that. So, as the title of the video says, what did we name it, Camilo? Do I love soccer or not? So, my question to you, gentlemen, especially after, I mean, I felt that Jose was like touching his knees, man. That's a serious injury. So, why are we still kind of like messing with it? Is it that we actually enjoy soccer that much to that level that it needs to be part of the life? Is it the competitive spirit? Is it you trying to prove something to yourself for no reason? Why is this need? Because I see this in just men that are like athletes, either high school athletes, college athletes, whatever the case may be. They're always kind of trying to prove that they're good, right? And I think we even have another friend that he just came back that has the same injury as you. We won't say his name out of respect, but right? So what the fuck? Like, cause I truly don't get it. Like, and like I told you, I'm an athlete too. I play soccer. I went through the same things he went, all the leagues, and I took a couple injuries and all that stuff. But if I had an injury, even as small as yours, I'm like, I'm cool. I don't need to play soccer.
Because again, that happened my sophomore year. So I went back junior and senior, but again, not at the level I was before.
Yeah, that was a courtesy thing.
Yeah, it was just me trying to get back into it.
The next year, the next fall. Right?
Mm-hmm. But again, I had to wear like this huge ass brace to be
You
able to
look
play.
like a wrestler and shit.
And senior year, at that point, I was like, nah, like my knee's not good enough. So at that point, like I didn't really try either. I knew my knee wasn't good enough. So
Why go back? In the hopes that the knee would be good enough again? Why go? Because you just got done telling us a serious injury that crying painfully, take you out of regular school, all that stuff, and you still went back with hopes of it being good to go?
kinda like I wanted to go back to how it was before, but after playing like my junior year, like, and at that point I was like, I'm slower than I was before. I don't have as much power as I had before. Like, I'm just not, like, again, like they say it like in soccer news all the time. There was like someone gets an ACL injury, they don't come back. They don't come back the same.
You better have insurance.
Some of them do, actually.
Except for Ronaldo.
Ooh, shots fired.
But even then, like I it's also mental. Like you don't want to break it again. You don't want to have to go through all of that again.
So why are we going through college level tryouts and we playing every Friday? If that's the risk.
No, every Friday is okay because he plays like 3 and 4 minutes. But to try it?
Well, no, well I was
Get him, Osvaldo. Get him. He's being disrespectful.
No.
He's being disrespectful.
Sit
Get
up
him.
straight.
Get him.
No.
Look at him in his eyes.
Teach this guy.
so again, so junior year, I tried to see if it got back to how it was before. It didn't. So senior year, I was like, nah, it's not gonna be good anymore. But then after senior year, like I still played a bit, but I feel like I got more confidence. My confidence came after high school.
At what age?
Like
21, 22, 19.
like 18, 19.
Okay.
At that point is when I got the confidence.
So at that point, you built yourself enough where you thought you recovered, basically.
Kind of, yeah. So at that point, like me and my friends would still play, and at that point, like I didn't need the knee brace anymore. So the doctors recommended me to use the knee brace.
But you thugged it out.
But then looking online, like results say that it's varied, that you build a reliance on it.
Mm-hmm.
So
You let it go.
yeah, like you're also at injury
So at this point, what is soccer to you at this point then?
because I was never like on a team. I was never on trying to make it competitively. At that point, it was just me. Yeah, and like at school wise, like at that point, it was just the first 2 years was actually okay. I can actually be kind of good. The next 2 years was just like, okay, how's my knee? And then after high school, at that point, it was just like, I don't know why I kept playing, but I still kept playing like with my friends.
Yeah, that's
Just
why
to
we're
play.
here. That's why we're
Just to
here.
play.
Yeah, that's why.
Just
This
to
is
play.
exactly why this conversation
play.
has occurred.
And then once we started the actual like league, like our indoor league, and I think I mentioned this to you last time, but when we first started, like I had more fun. Like at that point, like
And we're talking about the indoor league that
The
you guys
indoor
are part
league,
of
yeah.
for 3 years now.
like I didn't care about hurting my knee because it wasn't like every game we went like we knew we would lose, so I wasn't trying to win.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to like give it my all and like hurt my knee again.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, oh, let's just go again. Same thing, kick the ball.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, basically, like if I was playing in middle school, like it was just like, oh, run around.
Yeah.
And that's it. But then once we actually started winning games, that's when it got competitive. Because again, before, like I would actually play like the whole game.
Is it true, Camilo?
In the what?
In the beginning,
In the
Fridays?
yeah.
I don't remember. We're like 30 players. So it wasn't called, man.
Yeah, but again, like I would play like 15, 20
Jose
minutes.
hated it.
You'll play more than 5?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like like I would actually play, but now that it's gotten a bit more competitive, like where we actually try to win, like at this point it's like, okay, at this point it's competitive, so there's a big higher chance of me actually getting hurt. So that's why, like Camilo said, like I'm only gonna play like 5 minutes, minimize the risk.
True. But you went to go on college level tryouts for 30 minutes. And what happened there?
My knee ended up getting hurt. So
Did we have foreknowledge of this?
yeah.
So,
Like
like
I
I
said.
said, and maybe, Jose, you could start speaking up on it a little bit, but so why? It's because you can go run, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can go to the gym. You can drive your manual car that you drive right now. You can walk every day, right? You can stay in shape, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why is soccer such a thing for you guys? Like, why is this something that continues to be there? Because if you told me, I like to stay in shape, this is how I like to work out. Okay. Well, I mean, is it really worth it though? So why? Why is this why soccer like? Because like I told Osvaldo before, when you guys talk about soccer, it's like when I'm around my brother, like how he talks about soccer right now for him, because it's actually really important for him. And I get that who knows? We'll see if he even has potential. But you guys get excited like that, and then like now, if you were telling me you were trying to like take it in a more serious way, well, respects. Let's try to do it. But you don't want to be. You already said it that you already knew that pro level wasn't a thing. So what is it? Is it just the passion for the sport? Is it the competitiveness? Is it just hanging out with your friends and shooting the shit after? What is it? Because I don't get it. And like I said, I've had soccer injuries. But not like severe as yours, obviously, right? I've had an injury that always bothers me since I was born, but I dealt with that. And then the last injury, I got my groin stepped on. on here with a cleat. One like walked over it, and that was like my last. That was my June. That was the last year. After that, I just basically got kicked off the soccer team because I didn't care no more. But I didn't want to go back. I don't have like I don't like even when I did play that first whatever months when you guys we ended up over there. Like I was doing it just because everybody was doing. But I was like, I don't want to like. I'm not trying to be good right now.
An aspect that you mentioned that I totally forgot about is just playing with your friends. Basically, I totally forgot about that, but I feel like that's a big reason too.
It's like when we were practicing on
Yeah.
Sundays.
Okay, but see, well, that's a valid answer to me. I get that. I understand that. But the thing is, like you just said, it starts getting competitive because he did it too. Jose wasn't playing for a while. He ended up being goalie. He scored. And even when he was telling me that, he was excited. And he was like kind of back in a little bit. Even though I don't know where he's at right now with it. But, okay, cool. If it's a social aspect, respect it. That's cool because we need that. But then you said it starts getting competitive. And then now you can win games. And then now you're playing more than just 4 minutes. So, you know what I mean? It's at the end of the day, we got things to do, gentlemen. And we need able bodies to walk around and to get to places, right? So is it really worth it at this point? Is it really worth it? I get it. One thing is having the social aspect, cool. But there's other ways to get that too. But is it worth it, Jose? Like, is it worth it? Like, because you've mentioned maybe you're going to stop actually just playing. Even just...
I think I was just... Well, I mean, I already did for a while.
Mhm.
I think for now, just keep it longer. But, yeah, like, after a while, after I got hurt, like, with my hamstrings and all that stuff, and then a little bit, like, just knees and other, like, just, hits and all that stuff. Yeah, after a while, I was like, maybe, I don't know if training's going to be enough anymore, and I don't know if I could do it and all that stuff. But also, too, I was like, it's a little bit too late. 26, 27. I think the indoor one would have been pretty cool. Like, that could have been cool for, like, a season or two. But I got hurt during that time. And so I was like, I just let it go. And then I just started to play afterwards, like, for fun again. I mean, I like to play. I like the actual team playing. I like to pass the ball and then move, pass it back, and then pass and move. And, like, I like that stuff. So that's why I wanted to play, because I was like, it's not going to be so competitive anymore. But we can do those. At least, we can pass and do stuff like that. And then playing with them, it was just, I was just doing whatever I did, which was mostly defending. And then when I had a chance, then I would go score and all that. But
You're actually really good.
I practiced it. Like, I practiced a lot to try to do that, to try to get a chance. But, I mean, it never worked out.
So at this point, is it just that? Just kind of a hangout?
Yeah. Like when we started the first one, I was like, that'd be fun, because I knew how it was gonna be.
Yeah.
I knew it was gonna be co-ed, and people hadn't played before at all. Some people had taken a long time. Osvaldo hadn't played in a while.
I haven't played.
You
I didn't
hadn't
play.
played. Camilo hadn't played in a long time also. So I had an idea of how that was gonna go. So to me, it was fun. It was like practice again. I felt like it was practice again, because I got to do some things in on the field again.
Mhm.
Like try some passing and stuff like that. So it was just practice, exercise wise, basically. Like, that was my cardio. I was
For sure.
I don't like running on the treadmill and all that stuff.
So that's better for you.
Yeah, so that was the cardio that I chose, and that's how it was now. It was just like for fun, recreational, I guess. But
So let me ask you, Jose, because since you actually had the intention of trying, is this still something like you kind of like it's something that still kind of holds you back, or it's like it holds on to you some way? Because like you said earlier, when you guys went to that park and you started talking about the stories, and you just explained on the cast that you were practice before work. So is it something that you haven't let go of yet? Is it still something that kind of hurts? Because even you said earlier when the Rapids didn't take you, right? It still kind of stings a little bit. So is it that for you?
yeah, mostly it was like during high school time, and then the early college time. I didn't also put in any much effort. Like I didn't care like senior year basically to try to go to college, and then in college I didn't do too much either. So that's what I guess still dwell on.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that I didn't practice enough for the other stuff, you know, for the other clubs and all that. So it was like training wise, because I tried it. I went to the games, and then like I did everything after school and before work that I could and that stuff. But I think it was more discipline for sure. Like diet wise, that was a big thing as well. And then sleep wise, like I felt like those two should have helped, could help, and you know, they would have helped.
So
But
At this point, is it like, do you ever still have moments like, what if? As far as like that
I think
part of your life.
yeah, but more on like the second stage when I was for the Inferno, because I was gonna go to Chicago to try it with them,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I'll try it with them, and then if anything, I'll try it with the Inferno, because I already know that the team is there. And all
Yeah.
that, you know. So I think that was like the biggest thing that I was like, man, like I had this bigger shot when, at that age, I thought I was like the best, my best.
Of
You
course,
know, like
of course.
my
You were in
skill-
your prime. Your
like my
soccer prime.
skill, yeah, like my skill was about the best. I was thinking,
Yeah.
like my speed was coming back, and especially at indoor, like I wouldn't need full like pitch speed anymore. You know, I could be cool with like 30 yards, 40 yards, and I had that. Like that was still fine. I still had those sprints and everything, but it was on the outside, you know, pitch that I couldn't maintain 70 yards anymore the same. But I could do 30, and that's what you needed in indoors. And I was like, dude, that's fine. I could do that.
Yeah.
So, because I knew I had that sort of endurance first still.
Yeah.
Like that was still an option. I could do that. I could make it because I saw them too, and then we saw them, and I was like, they're good, but they're not like outstanding. Like, oh my god, like dude, you should be playing somewhere else.
Nothing
you know?
crazy.
It wasn't like super crazy like that. Like there was level competition for sure, but you know, as everyone else, like collective, because like team wise, like, I could have fit in and been fine. So. But yeah, that second stage, that was the.
Okay.
That's
What time is it?
that's the only one where I feel that I could have done more and done more.
So okay, but you think, is it now just something kind of behind you? Like you're good with it. Like you tried.
Yeah, because I tried. You know, I even left work.
You did. I remember that.
I quit work so I could train all day and all that
I remember
stuff.
that.
You know, and you know,
We were cheering for you.
And like, there was a cool time because I even talked to my parents and my brother and my sister, and like everybody was like, and I had a plan too. During that year, like 24, 25, I was like, I'll train this whole year, and then I'll go try out of Chicago, and then I'll try here, and if it doesn't work out there, I'll do here. If it doesn't work here, then I'll just stay within the clubs here. You know, like I'll train and I'll just keep playing, you know, competitive, and I just be there. So, and like they were all fine. They were like, I mean, you know, it's 1 year. You don't have kids, you're not married, you know, so they're like, go ahead, try it. And I was like, hell yeah, you know, like I felt cool because like they were with me, you know,
Supportive.
like they weren't giving me money and stuff like that, you know. I still had to do like
No, of course.
my other stuff, like
No work,
weekends and
no
stuff at
job,
times,
yeah.
but everything else was like more relaxed. Like they were open with it, you know, like it wasn't like I felt all just like I wasn't doing anything, you know, like I was just at the parks. Like it was a different sort of mentality because my family was there knowing about it, you know. It's like it's not
real support.
yeah, it wasn't like I was just like some bum, and I didn't want to work because I didn't want to. I just wanted to be at the field, you know. I was like, no, like I'm at the field because I'm trying to do
That's some
something.
real stuff right
'Cause,
there.
You know, like even my parents know about it and stuff.
So
know?
you actually put like a real effort at that point in the injury, right?
Yeah, like I would wake up in the mornings, do my like training and stuff at the park, and then in the afternoons I would go as well, do a little bit more. My brother would go every once in a while with the kids, my sister as well. But yeah, like I try to do quite a lot, and then it didn't work out. And now afterwards, as now that answering the question for sure.
No. That's why it's a podcast.
With that, like I said, because I tried, like I said, I did it big. You know, I sacrificed a bunch of stuff. I left work. I tried to do try to like be more into it 100%.
Yeah.
And so I think like that's the pretty good part on it. But as like I said, I still feel that I could have done more, especially in the diet and like sleep wise, all that stuff. That could have helped out for sure. Less injuries and all that stuff recovered. So it was cardio, like I said, a form of exercise and all that stuff. and then but now that I got hurt, co-ed league, like it wasn't even like a good game and stuff, dude.
It's just the
Yeah.
worst way to go out, basically.
Yeah, and like I said, I was like,
It always happens
but I'm
like
also
that.
thinking that I was like, good thing it was at this age when I'm kind of already like moving away from soccer, kind of is like me playing at least, because I'll watch it for sure, you know, and all that stuff. Because I think if I would have got injured like really young, like Osvaldo, I think I would have got scared that I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. Especially how I played, that like I was like,
You were aggressive.
like in there, yeah. I was like,
You were an
I
aggressive
wouldn't-
player. Because you were
I-
defense always,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, so I don't think I would have made it. I would have.
You would have re-injured it
Yeah,
at some point.
I wouldn't been able to do it, especially because of sliding and all that stuff. Like sometimes my I would slide and like my foot would be like kind of off, and I would be like, fuck, I would feel my ankle at times too, like sliding. So, yeah, at a younger age, I probably would have left as well. I mean, just myself, you know, then try to do some other sport, but yeah, so just cardio wise, exercise, and then now for sure it's it would just be like an activity thing too, because like I enjoy doing this stuff, like being with them and all that stuff. I like being in there too, because I can kind of see the game outside too. Like when we're outside, I cause some plays sometimes.
That's why
It makes me feel. It makes me feel like
Part of it.
part of it, but like
Yeah,
like a football coach, dude.
he's like a coach. He's like the coach now.
I think it makes me feel like a football coach, because somebody be running and I look at the field and I'm like, I was like, just left side, and I just call the sides, dude, and like
Yeah.
sometimes they'll just like kick it to the side that I said, and once they kick it, dude, the person is there like free and they get the ball and then they're able to go up and they make another pass or they shoot, you know. So I see the space open for them, so I talk it out for them. And it would be like the same, like within the field. I would try to do the same. So on the outside, coach wise, it makes me feel like a football coach at times, because I would like call the play. I would be like, dude, pass it to the left side, pass it to the right side, and I'll be like, shoot it now and stuff. And sometimes they do listen, and like it works out like boom, like right away. Everything.
Would you ever want to coach a little league team? Since you
From before, I had thought about it.
You should,
And I was always
so much
thinking-
chances,
I was always
especially with good teams.
Mhm.
I know Rush always has availabilities.
Yeah, I was thinking, you know, maybe that would be something, but also when I was training, I just had a different sort of mentality. Like I had to do stuff. I had to do even the most minimal like child things for practice,
Yeah.
and I had to do it just no matter what. And some people don't want to do any of that stuff. Like Leo got mad because I was telling him, like, dude, let's pass the ball so you can actually stop.
Shout
it
out
and,
to
like,
Leo.
Look out, pass the ball and stuff like that. He was like, no, you guys know I'm only gonna scrimmage and this and this. I was like, dude, you fucking baby, dude, you fucking brat,
You
dude.
did call him that. You did call him that.
But yeah,
Alright.
so like some people are like that. Like people don't understand the like all
The importance of
basics.
practice.
Yeah, the basics, the you know, the principles are where it's at, and that's like that's what I tell these guys. Like,
The fundamentals.
That's what I did a lot. Like I would just get the ball, and then especially at indoor, because it's a faster pace. Like at times I would get the ball and I just pass the ball right away, dude, and like everybody would just be open. It'd be moving. It's like keep the flow going.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing when you can actually do that in the field.
Yeah, so like that's coaching is it's a little bit hard. I mean, it's cool. You could do it. Like I tell them all the time. I like from these practices, if y'all really want to train, I have all the cones and stuff that I use, the speed ladders, the parachutes.
Ooh,
I have stuff like that. I even I had ankle weights that I would use. I would use the vest. I would train like Rock Lee, like my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a vest on, and like that's how I would run and stuff. So I tell them like if y'all really want to practice, like I know drills, we can run a bunch of stuff. So I think at this point maybe I would try for like older kids maybe, where they have a little bit more notion. I think I would struggle with like younger kids.
I would say test
Your water at teenagers.
Yeah,
First.
like a little bit more organized.
Yeah, like
I think that
15,
would be more-
16, and because if you are good, that could, I mean, that could be definitely an avenue. Because I know I've coached, like I remember I coached the first year of my brother, and that's when he was like 13, 12. I enjoyed it because to me it was like war games, just playing chess,
Yeah.
and just being able to organize them. Because I know exactly what you mean, like being able like stay here. He's gonna come to you, watch, and it works. I don't know. I think it would be a good way to you try, because you just got mad excited.
For calling the plays, I think that's cool because I said I actually listen, and I think that's one of the like the best things in soccer. Like even if you don't really look up, but if you listen to your teammates, like it's a lot of passing, like a lot of plays. I mean,
Yeah.
'cause it's a lot of talk. Like it's not necessarily like pass the ball to me, but it's like pass it to the corner up there. You know, like run the line and like drop it. So like it's different things that you just call out, and like you don't necessarily have to always look all the time, which is something that helps out because a lot of people look down at the ball all the time. So if you hear
Heads up.
if you hear your teammate just say like kick it to the left side, you know, it's like a little bit easier just to kick it to that side without like thinking.
All right. Because we don't want Camilo to get home. Like he's gonna get hit or something. But that's a great answer. I'm 100 satisfied with that. I'll leave you alone. But now to you, brother man. So Camilo don't get home so late.
How many more tryouts we got?
Yeah. How much more? How much? Even if you do get the social
We're trying out for the
experience,
Rapid to
you're gonna go to Metro just to try out for the team.
Yeah.
So what is it with you now?
For me, it was just well.
No, what it is. It's not. We're not talking about past tense. You're doing it now. You went to CU's tryouts. It's not talking about past. We're talking about now.
It's just what could have been, I guess. Like, I feel like I'm fast enough to be pretty good. My ball control is not the best, but I feel like I'm getting better at it. So it's like, what if I hadn't injured it? What if I hadn't gotten the injury? Like, where would I have taken it? But at the same time, like, it is kind of a good thing I broke it, kind of. Like, I
Way too much. Took over the world.
like, I like, that made me shoot with my left. Like, before I was all right. Now, like, I do everything with my left. But now that it's been some time, like, now both of them are good. Like, I can shoot with my left and my right. And, like, I can dribble with my left and my right as well. Like, I feel like I've gotten to a level where I just need a few more steps.
I wish we can zoom in your face right now, but we don't got that technology.
Like, I just like I just need a few more steps, and I think I would be good enough, I guess. And good enough would for me to be content with playing.
But is it worth it, man?
That's the thing. Again, like,
Look what you found in the tryouts, and that was like real.
that's why I went to it. Like, the reason I knew I wasn't gonna be able to keep up.
No, yeah, of course.
And, like, again, even in our fighter games, I only go like 80% speed, 80% like force. So I try not to go all out because I know if I do go all out, there's a higher chance of risk injury.
Yeah.
So, like, when we had finals, like, or semifinals, we actually made it to the semifinals in our indoor league. At that point,
3 years, dude.
That's true.
Blowouts, dude. Fucking 15-0.
And then now you're on top of the in the third year. You're running shit.
and at that point,
We're one game away.
Because you guys were excited and everything.
And at that point, I did go to 90%. And, like, at that point, it was like, because most of the games, like, when I play, I'm like, okay, this ball is going over here. Like, how hard do I need to go so I don't get injured, but I can still make it? Like, that's a thought I have every single time. But the way it should be is just, okay, react. But I don't have that because I need to figure out what's the best way for me not to get injured. So for that semifinal, I was like, okay, like, I can't think about that. I need to just go with instincts and not think about getting hurt. So I did do way better for sure because I wasn't thinking. I was just reacting. But at the same time, like, I can't go fully out. And then at the tryouts, same thing. I only went like 85, 90. Because same thing, like, I was like, well, we did play on a bigger field.
Yeah.
So it's not as tight as indoor where
100 yards, actually.
way more contact.
Yeah.
So here, like, it was more about playing strategically. Like, where do I need to stand? Where do I need to be So those 30 minutes, I actually played good. Like, I think I played really good. Like, I got to every ball. I won every ball. All my passes were correct. Like, everything was good for me. But again, like, it's so high paced, even if it is a big field, that it was just like my knee was just like it gets tired. It's weird. It's weird to say, but my knee gets tired. Yeah, like it gets tired.
You old bitch, get off the field.
Yeah, so at that point, like, again, so the more tired it gets, like, or tired I get too, like, more chance of making a wrong play or stepping wrong or something going wrong, and at that point, higher risk of injury. So after those 30 minutes, I was like, okay, I'm done.
Because I hear what you say, even when you like brought it up to our attention that you randomly signed up, right? And we're like, go do it, go get a workout.
By accident.
I was just walking by,
By
you know?
mistake, I logged in my.
Yeah, I sent the email, I replied, whatever, right? But and we like, go do it, it's a workout, go see what's. And I would even be a little more supportive and wouldn't fight you on these things if you kind of did, because there's a lot of things you can do so your knees doesn't feel certain things or even like a certain weight. You know what I'm saying? Like if you were taking like those kind of, I'll be like, okay, maybe he's a little more serious and he probably knows a little.
Is it because I'm not that serious either? Because, okay, so how
Exactly, that's why we have this
how Jose
conversation.
was saying, like, he would
Steroids to be serious.
because how you were saying, like, you would practice every day, like your practice means something for you. My practice is those Fridays.
So and
Like-
Sundays. So
Yeah, so it's like,
So you definitely don't have the passion that Jose has for soccer.
no, I don't
You
think I do.
For you, it's just the ego thing. If we're honest,
It's kind of.
did that sting like that? I know. Did that's how it sting? It's like, sorry, yeah, I had to say it on camera.
Well, because it's like I'm not, like, for me, I like practicing, but like, so I want to practice to a level where I just need to get tired or like be good enough, I guess. Like how you were saying,
Your exhaustion is gonna dictate how much effort, how well you play.
the what?
How tired you are.
Yeah,
shows
exactly.
How much you played
Yeah.
or how well you played. The more tired you are, the better you play.
Yeah, because I wasn't trying to go pro. Like I've never even thought about that. But it's just like, okay, like I'm actually seeing the progress. I mean, like I'm actually seeing that I'm actually getting better over time.
So what kind of good feeling does that give you that you seem so obsessed with it right now? Like, what is it? Because I'm gonna keep using this example because, like I said, I don't go to practice with you guys and shit like that. I don't even go play with you
You
guys.
should.
Stop it.
Yeah,
You can still make it.
yeah.
Zlatan played until he was 42.
Well, I'm not 42, but the point is,
You're 52.
yeah, I'm 60 by the way. I'm 80. I'm immortal. But anyways, so like the last time we were all chilling here at the studio or whatever, right? We had like I think you brought the soccer ball, or Leo. I don't know who it was. It was a nice soccer ball. I remember because of the flowers, right? And we just started like I was fucking around. We just kind of this motherfucker got up, and he took it serious. I don't even think you sat down after that. Like, and then that's where I was like, this guy, that's something else. Because I was like, you just got up. You were chilling. I think we were even drinking a little bit or whatever. And then you got up and you took it serious.
I didn't even think about. Like you pointing it out. Like I never noticed.
No, but your attention got different, bruh. And I'm not going to say other things. I don't want to make you feel weird. But, like your attitude, your body language, like it just changed. I'm like, okay, he's ready to fight. He has rising up from the dead. Here we go, Osvaldo. Just pull out a soccer ball and we get a different version. But so it's just that, man. And like I told you, we got things to do, right? Oh,
Yeah, so that's true. Again, like when you're saying, is it worth it?
even for the ego
No.
booster, even for the,
No,
is it worth it? Because
it's not.
you have 100 other things in your life that can do that for you.
That's why it's a risk versus reward. So
There's no reward. You can hang out with these assholes every day if you want.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Go
It's the
to, go
running.
to the gym.
Like,
Go run then. You're a trail runner, right?
yeah, I do that, but it's
not the same though, is it?
it's not the same. Because during a game, you run one side, and you have to run back. And how you said, it's kind of like a little war thing. Like for me, it's like getting tired enough where it's not just like me walking.
It's pushing your limits
Yeah, exactly.
and be able to continue on
Mhm.
even after you're dying. And you missed the third ball in a row that Jose gave you. And he's pissed.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, the main reason, so we can wrap up, because I don't want Camilo to go home late. Are you guys leaving after this?
What time is it?
Stuff. Wrong side, Jose. I think Jose's ready to
3 in
leave.
the morning.
11.
3 in the
Are you
morning.
guys leaving after this?
3 in the morning.
You guys don't have to say. I'm just asking.
I'll just wait till the morning. Actually, we have like 3 more hours.
Because we
Six.
usually have best conversations afterwards. So if we are staying, that'd be great. But the main reason why I wanted to bring up this conversation, because we have a lot of ideas. We got a lot of things we need to get to, and I need everybody to be able-bodied.
Because again, I've thought about that. Like, let's say I get injured, like I'm done for 6 months. Like I'm not doing anything.
Done for a half a year, bro. That's a half a year, and that goes for everything else that you do in your personal life, as far as going to school, your family, whatever you do on the weekends. Like you're gonna be in bed.
Mm-hmm. So that's why again I try to mitigate the risk. I try to not play as much time and not go as hard. Still play to a point where I get tired, but minimize.
But is that
injury.
even realistic? And I'll ask you, Jose. Like, is that even realistic? Because at some point, there's gonna be a shift in gear. At some point, you're gonna get a shove from the back, or you're gonna get a good ass ball, and then you're not even gonna think about it. You're gonna go do your athlete thing, right? Because I know that happens.
Oh,
for
that's
sure.
happened to Jose for sure.
But so exactly. So even if it is laid back, and like, obviously you're a grown man, you can do whatever you please. You want to go break 2 legs, go break 2 legs. Hopefully you don't, right? But that's the only reason I brought this conversation
I
up.
see what you mean. Yeah, because again, like
That's the only reason. Because we got shit to do, gentlemen.
like I've done since I've been playing for like 3 years. Like I have mitigated the risk. I have like played just enough where I know that I'm not gonna get injured. But you are right. Like I don't know where anything can happen.
In the mid of the game, and then
Yeah.
Camilo start cooking over there and shit, and then all of a sudden Jose's yelling at you. I gotta go, because it happens. It's the nature of sports. That's why sports are so cool. Because in any moment, something can switch,
That's true.
and it can go the other way. Just like in boxing, just in any kind of competitive sport. As soon as one thing goes wrong, and then next thing you know, you're somewhere else. But just to wrap up episode 9 of Higher Thought Cast, the main reason I wanted to bring it up, because I wanted some understanding, because I definitely have some obsessions on myself, for sure, and some things I probably won't ever let go. I don't care how old I get. But that one is a little hard for me to understand, right? I don't get how you, especially you, and especially our other friend that is back, I guess, flying colors over here. What's the point? You know what I mean? What's the point? Go sit down for 6 months, catch a little depression, and gain a little more weight, because that's what's gonna happen with these type of injuries. So it was just an interesting conversation that I was really curious about, and like I always tell you, gentlemen, I need you able-bodied. I need everybody to be able to drive, because we got things.
I wouldn't be able to drive.
No, you, especially your car.
Yeah, stick shift. No.
Nah, and then you would have to give that one of your loves. You imagine that, not driving a stick
wouldn't
shift
be able
car.
to.
I know you enjoy your truck too, but you really love, that third, fourth gear is a little different, bro. Yeah, see, he's already crying inside. Mission completed. Mission completed. But that's the only point I wanted to bring it up because I thought it was interesting. And when you guys talk about soccer, it's like you guys remind me of my brother. I'm like, damn. But these are grown as adults. I understand my brother because he probably, hopefully, we'll see how far he gets. But you guys, I'm like, what's the point? You know what I mean? And like I said, even if it's just the social aspect, sports don't work like that. There's no halfway anything in sports, even if you suck or not. All right, gentlemen. We'll appreciate you entertaining this conversation.